Welcome to the final part of Rayman 2. Today we are going to be finishing the game by going to the prison ship. But of course, we got a cutscene first. Razorbeard receives a special guest. Now this character is also a character from another Ubisoft game called Tonic Trouble. Now Tonic Trouble is a 3D platformer that Ubisoft made before making Rayman 2, or sort of released before Rayman 2 anyway. Essentially to learn how to make a 3D platform. They sort of made it in preparation for Rayman 2 to sort of get to grips with making a 3D platformer. As originally, Rayman 2 was not going to be this 3D platformer. Rayman 2 was originally developed as a 2D game, very similar to the first game, for the Saturn and PlayStation, and in fact you can play a small demo of the original version of Rayman 2 in the PS1 version of the released game by getting 90% of the yellow lums in the PS1 version, and then I think beating the game. I think you have to beat it. You then get given access to a 2D prototype, essentially a little demo level of the original version of Rayman 2, which is really interesting. But upon seeing the success of games like Crash Bandicoot, Ubisoft essentially decided we should make a 3D game, and so they did. And while the original version of Rayman 2 could have been quite interesting to play, I ultimately do love what they came up with anyway, so... Anyway, Rayman 2 development aside, this character has sold Razorbeard the Grolgoth, basically a giant mech that he is going to use to try and destroy Rayman. But here we've got the prison ship, and we've got to put our sliding ability to good use, which I didn't, but that is the way I can explain what I'm going to do. Basically, in this level, the first part of it is all sliding, and if I miss a lum, I'm going to fall off the side, and so I can respawn at the start of the section I'm on, so I can get the lums that I've missed. It's a completely valid tactic. So yeah, if you're playing this, you miss a lum in this section, feel free to jump off the side if you miss a lum, just like that. It's completely a valid tactic, especially if you've been getting all the cages, then you'll have plenty of health. Of course, if you want to look like a pro, then then you'd want to make sure you collect all the lums in one go. Whoops. But for most players, jumping off the side and trying again is a completely valid tactic. Essentially what I would recommend. It's been a while since I've played this level, so it may take a few tries for me to get some bits done. And there is a bit slightly later on into the level, wow, I'm good at this game, where there's sort of some lums and then a hole leading to the next, sort of leading to the section after it. And if I do mess up that, well, I'll either stop the recording and you won't be able to hear any of this anyway, or I will just sort of cut away to sort of me having gotten the lums that I missed upon replaying the level. Depends what I feel like doing. Oh, there we go. Got all the lums in that section. As you might be able to tell, there are 94 lums in this level. Yeah, they basically just dumped the rest of the lums into this one level. Like every level except the Woods of Light and this all have 50 lums. Though of course if you add the lums from the Woods of Light to this, you get 99. So And of course, the 1000th one, we got into Tomb of the Ancients. But as I said, it doesn't actually contribute towards any in-game count, only the percentage on the save file. I don't think I got that. It's fine. I'm gonna invariably mess something up here, so yeah. Alright, let's go and get some of the lumps I missed. Yeah, Maledicto. You charge up a shot, has a cool trail. Yeah, it is in a way a bit weird that the final level of this game isn't like mostly platforming and sort of testing what you've learned up until this point, but at the same time, Tomb of the Ancients and the Iron Mountains kind of already do that. So this is more just a final test of your sliding abilities and then obviously what we're going to be seeing after. I was too focused on getting the lums. We'll jump cut back to there. Right, we're back. So of course we want to hit the switch. Hit that switch. Right, and we got the part of the level I'm always most nervous about. Or I can fall off before I get to that part. And we're back again. This time we're going to jump over these properly. Thankfully, if you do fall off these bits, you don't have to do the switches again. But here we go, the part of the level I'm always most anxious about, and I messed it up completely. Lovely. Ugh. Always hate that. Right, we're back trying this again. Let's see if I actually get it this time instead of messing up horribly like last time. So yeah, you kind of want to just awkwardly maneuver yourself around this ring. Oh no, this is gonna be bad. Oh no. It's really awkward to get yourself around this circle. I never know which directions to push. There we go, we got it. If you got 64 lumps before heading down here, you know you've done it right. Anyway, now we can actually move on with the level. So, can't go this way. So we'll go over here. And we'll fall down this way so that I don't have to do something awkward later. Here we got a bit of a mini boss. You can target the pirate instead of the thing, instead of the switch. Yeah, he'll jump around and do flamethrower-y stuff. There's a power fist over here, which he does have a severe allergy to. So with this, you just want to keep moving. Again, it doesn't matter too much if you get hit. There'll be a chance to heal up afterwards. Yeah, he's has a severe allergy to the power fist. So you just want to keep moving. Try and get the power fist and charge up some shots, if at all possible, and you'll get them done easy. But as we saw, I hit a switch accidentally while trying to fight him. So we'll go see what that switch has done. If you're listening, you might be able to hear it. So what that switch has done is turned on this little thing here, which spawns a shell. But surely that would just run off the side and kill us. Well, notice that it looks a bit different to the shells we've been used to. Yes, we are on a flying shell, giving us full control in the air. And what we do, obviously, we run into things and die while I'm trying to explain controls. Great. Obviously, standard sort of flight controls, I guess, for games. You're going forwards constantly. Was it pull down on the stick to go up, push forwards on the stick to go down, obviously for flight stuff. Left and right turn, but as well as just moving left and right, you also get sort of rotated. If you want to change your orientation, run into a thing, no. You hold down either the shoot button or the strafe button, both work. No, not shoot, jump. Hold onto the jump button or the strafe button. And you can sort of rotate relatively on the spot. Since I've killed myself a couple times, I might see if I can grab the red lums that are at the top here. But before we move on, just want to double check I've got the yellow lums from up here. Yep. And we got a few lums down here as well. So yeah, this gives you this little open section just to get used to using the shell. Now if I didn't fall down there on my way to the place where I fought the pirate, I would have had to get the yellow lum while flying on the shell. I didn't want to do that. And now we got those lums and we've gotten used to flying again. We hit that switch by going near it, and we go into the next area. Now the first time I played this game, well, the first time I got to this area, I was playing the DS version, and I sucked hard at this section. This was really hard for young me, especially on the DS version. Now, yeah. Well, we had a little open area with the shell just now. This section here is just a linear shot, a linear sort of course, full of things to avoid. Because if you essentially if you like tap anything, you're basically dead. So. But one thing I will show off, there's a laser here that shoots you, so keep moving. See these red lums? Follow them, we get to a little path. Now despite this being a 3D platformer and having a big collectible, this section here is completely optional. You do not have to go down here. All that you get from going down here is a few red lums. There are no yellow lums here whatsoever. So I don't know why this path exists, but it's a curiosity, I suppose. But yes, if you're low on health, I could recommend going down here just to get some red lums. But there's a bit of a tight squeeze, so whether I'd really recommend it, I'm not sure. But yeah, brings you back to the main path. Again, in this section, keep moving, or else the lasers will get you. And we've got our final lum. We now have all 1,000 lums, and that's the end of the prison ship. I think, yes, it has brought us back to the Hall of Doors. In the N64 version, and maybe some other versions, I think just N64, it brings you straight to, well, and the DS then, it brings you straight to the final boss in the Crow's Nest. In the Dreamcast version, it gives you a cutscene that's exclusive to, well, any version that's not PC or N64 derived. And I think that cutscene was intended to be in the game from the very beginning, but I think there was just a bit of time crunch on the PC and N64 versions, which meant it couldn't be implemented until the Dreamcast and PS1 versions. It's a good cutscene. Go look it up. Watch a playthrough of the Dreamcast version or something. But without any further ado, we have a final boss to fight, and the Crow's Nest. And Rayman has indeed got all 4 masks, and he's on the ship. So I like the lightning effect. I assume it's just like a texture that lights up on the floor, but it's quite a convincing effect, really. I do love this zoom into the Crow's Nest. This really shows the scale of this ship. Like, this ship is massive, but it did have like 30,000 like prisoners on board at some point or something like that. So makes sense. But as we saw from the loading screen, the glow box has been strung up, and things don't look too good for Glowbox. But Rayman is here to save the day. Well, rest in peace Rayman, I suppose. Of course, that's not how the game ends. Roblox will be fine, apparently. But here we have our final boss. Finally taking the fight to Razorbeard, who's piloting the robot on top of the prison ship. Right on the crow's nest of the ship, as the name of the level implies. So for this part of the fight, you've got to shoot these helicopter bombs back at Razorbeard. You've got to be pretty dead on with your aim. If you're slightly to the left or right of him, like if it would sort of hit him but sort of on his left or right side, he will dodge out of the way. And you want to keep moving to avoid not just the shots that he shoots from his feet, but also when he jumps at you. And yeah, there we go, demonstrating like that. He will dodge out of the way if you're not sort of dead straight with your aim. Because he shoots them from his left hand, which is on our right, I'd recommend running towards the right. But we got 3 hits, pretty standard if he was a Nintendo boss. But he's not a Nintendo boss. This is a Ubisoft game. But yeah, after 3 hits, he tries to jump at us, but breaks the floor of it, which of course is going to take us down with him. Yeah, this looks bad as well, but Lee, I guess, has some sort of psychic link to know what Rayman's doing. That's not explained. But she is here to save Rayman from certain doom. And bring him to a shell as well. Now this is a flying shell as well, even though it looks like a walking shell. I guess just a bit of an error they made in decorating this one. But it's whatever. But she's here to tell us that we were sensational. Yes, Razorbeard is nearly beaten. We have nearly come to the end of this game. The slaves have broken their chains and escaped. The slaves on the ship, we actually helped them escape if we're playing the Dreamcast or PS1 or PS2 version. But, yeah, Polycus has done what he can on the land. It's up to us to finish the fight. But of course, Razorbeard, he's not going down so easy either. He's not fallen into the lava. So now it's up to us to defeat him once and for all. So in this section of the boss, we're on the flying shell. We're gonna die. And if you die, his health bar does get reset. So what we want to do is go to the end of one of these passageways, pick up this glowing thing, which is a projectile. We're going to shoot that at him, and then fall into the lava. And you can shoot him while he's in the lava to do a little bit of damage, but obviously he does more damage from falling into the lava. Now when you pick up a thing, it has 5 shots, so that's enough to do 2 lots of falling into the lava. And he has shot some homing sort of things at us. I don't know if they're still following me. Yes, they are. So if you're flying straight, those homing things will catch up to you and will kill you. So what you kind of want to do is just make sure you're constantly weaving around. Because I think they have like a less tight turning circle than Rayman or something like that. But if you are finding this fight a little bit tough, one thing you can do, head up towards the top bit of here, hold down both the jump and shoot buttons, and you'll get teleported to a little area, and once you've flown through it, it'll give you a blue pickup instead of this sort of yellowy pickup you get from the ends of these little corridors. And that basically allows you to have infinite ammo for this boss, which means you can just shoot Razorbeard to your heart's content. Now of course I'm trying to do this legit. I'm having to make sure I keep moving. Yeah, what I'm doing for this though is I am basically just shooting each hand, and then because one shot gets, because you get 5 shots from the thing, I'm just shooting him in between once. What I could do is just save the shot for getting sort of a hand and doing another one, but it's whatever. Oh, and yeah, sometimes Razorbeard will, well, when you've gotten down a bit more, will tell us our lava bath is ready. He'll go higher up here, and he'll raise the lava. Not to the point where you can't go around in that section, but just the point where it makes it harder. But with that, we have beaten Razorbeard, and beaten the game. Now we just got the ending. He said one last surprise for us. Of course Rayman can't see what it is. Said surprise is a massive self-destruct bomb. Things don't look too good for Rayman once again. And yeah, from the sad music, yeah, everyone thinks Rayman died in that explosion. Even the shell is there to grieve. Or a shell anyway. All they seem to have left is his foot. His left foot, I think. But that would be a pretty sad ending for a sort of cartoony mascot platformer. Of course, Rayman didn't die. He survived the fall and the explosion. I mean, it's not like he takes fall damage in this game, or any Rayman game for that matter. I was right, it was his left foot, if I remember the cutscene properly. And so we're all happy. Rayman didn't die. We defeated the Rover Pirates, and so we have brought a better future, I guess, for this world. And that was Rayman 2. And we end with a fireworks show. So they honour Rayman this evening. I'm recording this in the middle of the day, not the evening. But that was Rayman 2, Ubisoft's sequel to their very successful first Rayman game. Only one of 2 3D platformers in Rayman's catalogue though. And as I have said before, and I hope I've gotten the point across, I love this game. I know a lot about it, and I just really enjoy playing it. You know, it's just something I go back to replay quite a lot. I have almost every single version of the game, and yeah, I just really enjoy playing it. It's one of my favourite games. It's my favourite 3D platformer of all time. Despite being a bigger Sonic fan than a Rayman fan, I do like this. I would say like this more than a 3D Sonic game. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. I would absolutely recommend you go play it if you can get hold of a good version. Some of the more recent versions of the game aren't as good. Like the DS, 3DS, iOS versions, they're not so good. Well, I say iOS. Not that you can get the iOS version or play it on modern iOS devices, but yeah. The most recent version of this game released is the 3DS port, if we're not counting like re-releasing the PC version on modern sort of distribution things. Hey, additional thanks to T-Trouble programming team, Tonic Trouble. So if you can get hold of this game on an older console, like an older console version, like either the N64, the Dreamcast, even the PS2 remake I could happily recommend. If you're going to play the PC version, I would definitely recommend going on GOG.com, Girl Games. They sell a DRM-free version of the game, but that's not the important thing. They sell a version of the game that's fixed to work on modern Windows, without all the issues that come from running the old disc version. I'm technically running the old disc version, using a fan-made patcher that doesn't seem to exist or work on modern Windows anymore. But I used this on a Windows 7 computer and just copied the files over to each computer I've used since. So yeah, but I should recommend this game. I mean, if possible, I would say play the Dreamcast version. It is the best version in my opinion. And I think even Michel Ancel said that that was his favourite version. So yeah, go play the Dreamcast version if you have a Dreamcast, or a good Dreamcast emulator. Otherwise, get the PC version on GOG.com. It's pretty cheap. It's like £4, £5, £6 I think, on GOG. Don't know what it is in America. And if you have an N64, the N64 version is good as well. It's basically this, but with slightly lesser graphics and sound. But this is a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft games have long credits. I'm not going to cut out the credits, but I am going to not talk throughout the whole thing because it takes ages, and I do not want to try and hold up a conversation of nothing. So I will sign off here. Thanks for watching. If you've been watching the entire playthrough, thank you so much for watching. I've got content semi-planned in my head, and not just game playthroughs. I have various things planned in my head. Hopefully I'll be able to bring them to fruition. And I also stream games as well. That's where I do most of my game playthrough stuff. The link to the stream's in the description. It always has been since I started this channel. But yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video. So, you're still here, are you? Well, of course you are, the video is not technically over yet. As a little bonus, some versions of Rayman 2 include a little minigame called Menezes. I think it's supposed to be pronounced Menezes, possibly as a reference to the Konami game Nemesis. As it says, the full-text mini shoot-'em-up. Yeah, on the PC version, it's not really clear of how you're meant to access it. I've seen sources say you have to type shoot 'em up during the credits, or you type www.ubisoft.com at the end of the credits. I tried both of those just now. Another source, well, the Rayman Wiki page also says, as well as shoot 'em up, you just wait at the end of the credits. I sort of typed shoot 'em up after the credits ended, then I typed the Ubisoft URL, then I typed shoot 'em up again, then I started to type the Ubisoft URL, then it worked. So I guess try those. On the N64 version, it's something you'd I just read this, but I didn't take it in. You hold one of the C buttons and then mash A and B or something. On Dreamcast, it's just DLC. It's just a little DLC thing, which obviously nowadays it's hard. You can't really connect to their servers and download it, but I believe you can get sort of disk images to burn to a CD, which you can play on, which you can then put in a Dreamcast to just sort of put the save file for the DLC on a VMU. I should try that one day, but I kind of have no free space on the VMU that I use for Rayman 2. So yeah, maybe when I've deleted Chow Adventure off it or something. But we'll just do a little quick play of Menezes as a little bonus for the end of this video. So you use Joy to move, A to protect, and B to shoot. Yeah, it's basically a little side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Have I already lost a life? No, I haven't though. See, you're playing as an E, fighting X's and O's. And one... and it's very easy to die, because it takes one shot to kill you. But I think that'll do it for the Rayman 2 playthrough. Let's just go back to the menu and witness our 100% save file. Yes, if I hadn't gotten the... I know it's already saved, but I'm going to save it anyway. If we hadn't gotten that secret lum in the Tomb of the Ancients a couple parts ago, this would be at 99.9%, but this is 100%. I have some other random save files. You can ignore those if you want to. But yeah, that's Rayman 2. Once again, thanks for watching. Roll the end card. Why did I say to roll the end card? That's just weird.